What's up, everybody? Weston here, back with another viewer request deck tech video. But before we get into today's video, let me know how you're liking me doing more and more of these viewer requests. Also, if there is a commander that you would like to see built into a commander deck for deck tech, just let me know. So far, most people just say build a commander, but if you have some more specific requirements like budget, theme, etc., just drop it in the comments down below. Turnaround is anywhere from a couple days to about 2 weeks. Just depends on my work schedule. I will say, coming up here, if any come in during the week of Christmas, I will be at my in-laws for a week, so I will have pre-recorded videos then, and it would be a little bit longer. But without further ado, thank you as always for watching, and let's get straight into it. So we have the Swarmlord here. Now, he's one of the Warhammer 40k commanders, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know too much about the Warhammer 40k commander decks or the cards from it. I've come across a few every now and then, and so far all of them have been really cool. So who is the Swarmlord? He's a 5/5 for 3 generic, a green, a blue, and a red. He has rapid regeneration. The Swarmlord enters when the Swarmlord enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone in this game. So he's already a 6 cost. He's going to be big, so we're going to have a lot of ramp in here to be able to get him out. And whenever a creature you control with a counter on it dies, draw a card. So who are our creatures today? We're going to have some multiple packages going on in this deck. As you can see, this deck's a little bit higher budget. I wanted to kind of push the power a little bit, but not to absurd levels, to kind of show what the deck can do. Technically, Letter of the Law, it's still bracket 2, but this is not a bracket 2 deck. You're going to play this at bracket 3, bracket 4. I'll be honest, as the more and more we go along, I am just not a huge fan of game changers, mostly for the when it comes to budget reasons. If I threw 3 game changers in here, this deck would probably be like $800 because they all demand a premium. But we've got Alexios Demos Cosmos. We have and Slicer in here. Our goal is going to be putting a lot of 1/1 counters on a lot of our stuff, and then doing that will help us kind of smash for the win. We have Animar, Soul of Elements, protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on him. And then creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1/1 counter on Animar. We have Bergi, so red mana doesn't go away. Same with Electra. And you'll see why we have this in here later. We have Clamavis, Proclamator Hailer. Each creature you control gets +1/+1 for each 1/1 counter on it. We have Evolution Sage, so you proliferate when you find a land. Exocrine, Ravenous. It enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card that when it enters. And then when it enters, it deals X damage to each player. Oh, sorry. Recording this one late. Each player and each other creature. Then we have Genestealer Patriarch. When it attacks, you put an infection counter on target creature defending player controls. And whenever a creature with an infection counter dies, you create a token that's a copy of that creature except for its Tyrannid in addition to its other types. We have Herald of Secret Streams. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters on it can't be blocked. Incubation Druid. It's a mana dork that when it gets 1/1 counters on it, it can put counters on itself. Kami of the Whispered Hopes. Puts counters on things and is a dork for mana. Kodama, so that way any of your modified creatures, which is things with that are equipped, have auras on it, or 1/1 counters, or any kind of counters, sorry. When they deal combat damage, you get to search up lands. We have Marcus from the Fallout decks. He has Vigilance, Trample, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card if that creature has a 1/1 counter on it. If it doesn't, put a 1/1 counter on it. Rishkar enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. On each of up to put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Each creature you control with a counter on it has tap, add green. Like I said, Slicer's in here. We're going to try to put counters on him and Alexios in addition to our other stuff. We have Spore Cyst, Ravenous, Defender, and enters the battlefield. Search your library for up to X basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. We have Termagant Swarm, Ravenous, and when Termagant Swarm dies, create a number of 1/1 green Tyranid creature tokens equal to its power. Then we have Turvagon, Ravenous, and Trample, and when Turvagon deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green Tyranid tokens. We have the Goose Mother in here. I always wondered if Mother Goose is copyrighted or something. Flying, and the Goose Mother enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. When the Goose Mother enters the battlefield, you create half X food tokens rounded up, and whenever a Mother Goose attacks, you may sack a food token. If you do, draw a card. We have Toph, Earthbending Master in here. Since we are having lots of ways to ramp, it's just generic value to have our Toph in here for Earthbending and experience counters. Also, friends, look at how expensive she's gotten. Look at that. This is what happens when we put really good mythics into Jumpstart sets, where you can only get them out of Jumpstart packs and collector packs. Tyranid Prime has Evolve, Synapse Creature, other creatures you control have Evolve. Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, double our counters, have theirs. Winged Hive Tyrant, other creatures you control with counters on them, have Flying and Haste. And Wolverine, best of there is. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. At the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a 1/1 counter on him, and then you can tap 2 to regenerate him. For sorceries, we got our Ramp package in Cultivate, Explore, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Kodamas Reach, and 3 Visits, and Sky Shroud Claim. We have Blasphemous Act for mass removal. We have Rishkar's Expertise for big draw. Hull Breach for a little bit of artifact or enchantment removal. Tyranid Invasion makes you some Tyranid tokens. Sozin's Comet. So, this is why we don't want to lose our mana, right? With our Burgi and our Electro. You can play something like Sozin's Comet, or store up some mana so that way you can recast your commander if you need to when he dies. It's a good way of getting lots of mana. Oh, again, sorry. Doing this one late here. Tezzeret's Gambit, draw 2, proliferate. Wave Goodbye, return each creature without a 1/1 counter on it to its owner's hand. Instance, we have Bolt Bend, we have Chaos Warp, Tyvar's Stand, Inspiring Call. Those are all kind of protection. We do have one counter spell in here. Just a random little counter spell. If the spell's converted mana cost is equal to or less than the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control. So, you know, you've got some big stuff you're going to be playing. We got Rapid Hybridization for removal. We got Fling, Entish Restoration, and Hara for some more, more ramp. Then we have Starstorm, which another way for you to, if you really need to clear the board, you play Sozin's Comet, and then you can Starstorm. Artifacts, we have Power Fist. Equip creature as Trample. Whenever this creature deals damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Ozolith, if one or more 1/1 counters, and then you can put one on. Earth Crystal lets you put extra counters on, and the Great Henge lets you put counters on. All will be one, so whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent, all will be one will deal that much damage to target opponent. Creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. Bred for the Hunt. Whenever a creature you control with 1/1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, draw that many card. Or sorry, you may draw a card. Holy cow, that would have been way more busted. Hardened Scales, Inexorable Tide, Shadow of the Warp, Tribute to the World Tree. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if it has power 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Unbound Flourishing. Whenever you cast a permanent spell with a mana value that contains X, double the value of X. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or activate an ability, if that spell's mana cost has X, you may choose new target. So the doubling of X works really, really well with some of our Tyranid creatures up here. We have like our Termagant Swarm, the Goose Mother, Sporocyst for ramp, kind of etc. So doubling those, we have the Star Storm in there. You know, good things to dump our stuff into. And then for lands, I did go a little bit pricier. We are still running 19 basics because we do have fetches in here. Avendo as well as in here, since we do have ability to make some tokens. Bossing Say and the Fire Nation Palace, they're just generically good. Command Tower, Rogue's Passage, Secret Tunnel, since we have a few creature types that are the same. Yevimaya and the Shock lands, some fetch lands, and the Bounce lands. But that's my build for this Tyranid deck. It's a little bit interesting. I think I might try to pick this commander up in paper and get him built, you know, after I'm done building the 9 or so decks that I have on my table right here getting built. But let me know what you think of in the comments down below. I'm going to go to bed because it's 2:30 in the morning and it's way past my old ass's bedtime. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.